Alright, hello. For today's slope episode, we're gonna be showcasing an uncut run of Koumei, and the Tenet Plinx will be our star of the show today, because I think Koumei is, first of all, one of the more fun Warframes to play, and second of all, the Tenet Plinx with her is an absolute blast. So I'm gonna play through this uncut, show you how to do the challenges with ease, show the current setup that I'm running, and maybe you learn a thing or two about playing her, and maybe you find the Tenet Plinx somewhat amusing and really good. And I think you should at least try it once to get all decrees with her and try to get the 10 Plinks. So for this video, we're gonna take my regular Koumei build. It has 2 ability damage on enemies affected by electricity. This is for a decree called Fault Finder that applies electricity damage to enemies from range when you headshot them. It's kinda like melee influence, but if you were a ranged character, so it is pretty broken as a decree. The best one, so I'm definitely picking these. Then we have Toxin status effects deal 45% more damage. This is for the other OP decree, which is Bombasting's Malice. And then the last one is simply 45% maximum energy field on spawn, because I would like to cast at least 2 or 3 of my abilities before I can go, since for the build itself, we have all 4 Archon modes to help us with. This can proc, although it's not that regular for it to proc, but it will proc. I have tested it thoroughly. And then Archon Stretch procs pretty much all the time. Every time you press forward, you're pretty much guaranteed to proc it. This is simply an extra status effect. This is simply more damage, but not really needed. If you want to forgo Archon Vitality, you can, and you can simply use Vigilante Vigor, like here. And combining these two will give you even more survivability, but I have found out that fast deflection is enough. And then for Arcanes, I'm gonna be going Arcane Impetus and Arcane Velocity. Arcane Velocity, pretty straightforward, just give a bit more fire rate to the Plinx so we can shoot the outfire faster, because our fire rate decree will not be able to give us enough fire rate for the Plinx if we're just shooting outfires. Then, for the Coda Bubonico, we're gonna have a very standard build with a Raven mod that replaces a Heat mod, so if you want to take this mod and just replace it here, you will have pretty much the exact or a bit less than mine results, but should be the same. For the Plinx, I actually have a Riven that I've rolled thoroughly, but Hornet Strike, right here, perfectly fine, does the job. This mod basically replaces Hornet Strike and gives me a bit more critical damage, so it's ideal to have. But overall, Tenet Plinx is still an incredible weapon. Without this, we'll see a lot of damage caps, so I don't think this pretty much changes anything. And then for the Codopathesis, this sadly has real low disposition still. We're waiting for it to get buffed at some point, and then maybe I can make use of my own Riven mod, but overall, this is just a simple melee duplicate build for the yellow crits to do a lot of gas procs and duplicate those gas procs so they do even more damage. That being said, let's go start the run. We'll see if we have any good Fisher missions available right now to do for survival. We have Persto, which is pretty mid, but it should do. I do want my extra Steel Essence to buy more Kuva, so I will do it. So, in case people are not aware, Belly of the Beast has started. You have seen some of the alert missions. You are able to go to Larunda Relay on Ordis and buy your stuff now, and you will absolutely want to do that as they are really important to have. These arcanes are normally only from Eidolons, and well, people don't really do Eidolons anymore, do they? Some people do, but overall, it's not as usual as it used to be, for sure. So for Koumei build, we start with enemies afflicted with Toxin status. If you, on the bottom right, your weapon is something that you can shoot multiple times with, for me this would be the Bubonico, then I can use that to proc it. But if not, then you have to press your 4th ability over and over, and that should do the trick. There we go. And we did Between the Eyes. So instantly, one of the better decrees for Tenet Plinx, because this just gives us straight damage. And every time we lose a decree, we will want to simply use the weapon from our passive to activate our augment and just get all our stuff back. One really important thing about Koumei in general that people don't really know, and I've said it multiple times, but I think it's important for people to know this, is that her 3 will block damage 50% of the times, always, even though it's on cooldown on the top right. The cooldown on the top right is when the third ability can heal you, not when it can proc or block damage. So as long as your third ability is up, it can always block some damage for you. So wall latch is pretty simple. This is one of the easiest decrees, even though people think it's really hard. You simply wall latch, pick your weapon of choice that you wanna kill people with, and just shoot them down. And because wall latch was at the start really annoying to people, D went ahead and nerfed the amount of kills you need with it, so you don't need a lot of them. So kill enemies with electricity status. I believe this Bubonico has electricity, so I can just use it. Doesn't seem like it, but the passive does work for me, so. As we go through this video, I will be sharing more and more tips as I think about them. One of them right now will be about the passive for Koumei. So Koumei's passive, the dice, it has a pseudo RNG chance, just like we have in most games, where there is a higher chance for you to get a roll above average than if you get 2 rolls below average in a row. So with simple math, if let's say you hit an 11 and a 12, the next roll is more probable to get something like a 20. And if you're wondering, the average roll, since we have a die system with 5 dice of 6, the average roll is 18 exactly, since the lowest roll is a 6 and the highest roll is a 30. This means that if, let's say, I want to... Oh, Grim Armor. This is perfect for the Bubonico, by the way. This will be very handy later on, but anyways, as I was saying, when you're having a roll, let's say now I have 13. If I get another roll and it's below 18, it's a 17. So I should keep my next roll for my second ability or my third ability, since those are the 2 most important abilities, and hope that I get something better. Now, it's not guaranteed, but I did get a 19, which is above 18. In order to get a 666, you need a roll of 20 or higher, I believe. Let me think about it. 21 or higher. You need a roll of 21 or higher. So yeah, keep that in mind. Kind of important to know. So, Malice. We can just Plinx her to death. If I see her, because right now I don't even see her. Loki. Okay. I Plinx myself. Whatever. Alice, you bitch. Anyway. She's dying to Loki nothing. So that's pretty cool. But yeah. I might move a bit towards my life support, since this setup doesn't really ramp up until you get enough decrease, because I don't have a fire rate arcane on my Bubonico to help it out. I'm going all in on the Plinx, and until I get some decrease for the Plinx to simply carry me on its own, then I won't be able to get all my decrease that fast. So this might be like a 1.5 to 2 hour runs, probably. Okay, we hit a 666. But yeah, the dice system, knowing how to use it and how to abuse it is gonna be really useful for you. It's gonna change how Koumei feels by a lot, like how useful she is. and you should not pay attention to it that much, but just take a look at it every once in a while when you press 4 and see if you get above or below 18, as that's gonna help you in the long run when you're playing her. In general, Koumei is a Warframe with a lot of stuff to take a look at. Which sometimes can turn people away from her, but when you are playing her optimally, and you have all the decrees, you have stuff that you can work with, she feels really, really nice. Already we have Grim Armory, which means that once we get the fire rate decree, we can simply spam the Bubonico Altfire and start killing people with it, which is very, very funny. As you can see, it reloads my Bubonico instantly. So that will be very good. So Shattering Force is an interesting one. If you have an ability that's coded as a weapon, so Nova Nullstar or Pyrotechnics or something like that, this decree works directly on that ability multiplicatively. So if an enemy is affected by a cold proc while your ability is hitting them, then the ability will get its damage multiplied by whatever Shattering Force is. So it is really incredible to use. Anyways, Wall Edge again. I like seeing this because it's very simple, very straightforward. I could have picked a better primary for sure to make this a bit faster. Like, I think when I did this the first time and I showcased it on stream, I used the Kuba Com, and that is absolutely incredible with this Warframe. But it is what it is. I would like to try out more weapons, and Coda Bubonico is a weapon that I've been enjoying a lot, so if this video is a bit longer than usual, I don't really mind that. It is what it is. But I will have a timestamp for you to check when I have all the decrees, so you know where to look at when that happens. And I will try my best to get them as fast as possible. I know it doesn't look that fast right now, but it will speed up once we have some decrees that help us out. Especially the fire decree. The fire decree is very important for the Coda Bubonico. Magazine capacity is alright, but fire decree is exactly what I need. So Acolyte's coming. I'm gonna stack my stacks a bit for the Plinx. As much as I can, at least. It's violence, so I might just wait for silence to run out a bit. There we go. And miss. Incredible. You know what? I'm just gonna shoot primary fire at you. Anyways. The one misconception about Koumei, in my opinion, is that she is very squishy, she can die a lot. This is one of the more tanky Warframes you can actually play, especially when utilizing her third properly, where you actually just rolling guard whenever you lose your shield, just like normal shield getting setups, and your 3 will kinda just give you max overshield immediately, so you won't have to worry about it again. It's really incredible. Her third ability is probably the best defensive subsum ability in the entire game, especially if you're looking to do level cap. And on a Warframe like Mirage, let's say, if you run that plus rolling guard, you're basically free of anything when it comes to level cap content with her. It's really easy to survive level cap content with her. Which is honestly quite incredible. Alright, Headshot Decree. This is by far the hardest one, especially on this tile set, because enemies don't really have headshots on this tile set, but in general, the Headshot Decree, especially if you're in a squad, you should pretty much always reject it. It takes too long, and you can't really do it. But I do have a 10 at Plinx, I do have a Coda Bubonico, and thankfully this is a Fisher, which means that Some of these enemies will be just regular Quinier and Corpus enemies, corrupted rather. So this is more doable right now, for sure. Plus, I'm pretty sure the weak points on the wolves should count as headshots, right? I haven't noticed, but the legs and the dogs surely count. I don't know if the wolves count. They do. Okay, perfect. Very nice. In general, all you want on this Warframe is some weapons that have good KPM, decent kill potential. Doesn't have to be the best of the best, but anything good is really nice. And I'm pretty sure the Kolbeck has some very funny shenanigans with its misc damage of acid cells and how it can work. So, Kuva Sobek, definitely one of them. Alright, we're immortal, so W. Kill enemies while airborne. Simply jump, use your AoE weapon of choice, and just spam. Oh, we have infinite ammo on it, so W. Well, finally got an Outfire on her. Very nice. In case you're wondering what sounds the Acolyte from my operator, it's not a skull. It's simply an arcane called Magus Lockdown. And Magus Lockdown is pretty much what I use all the time on operator. It's just way too useful. Stun enemies on last gasp, press 2 on them with Madurai, shoot them, they die. In general, very good. Enemies afflicted with cold. Oh shoot. And these decrease for elemental damages, like kill people with X, Y, Z elements, these become so much easier once you have actual decrees. Because for example, Fault Finder deals electricity procs. Then the crit decree that gives you cold damage and status, that gives cold procs. Then Bombaston's Malice gives you toxin procs. And there is one for melees that gives you hit procs to melees as well. So in general, once you get decrees, these decrees that require you to kill people affected by a status effect become even easier, which is pretty cool. Basically, the longer you go, the faster you can start doing all of your decrease challenges, which is kind of counterintuitive really, but it does make sense considering what the challenges actually are. The only exception to this is the headshot decree, because you have so much DOT damage that you're kind of unable to headshot after a while. Like, you simply don't get the headshot at all because enemies just keep dying to your DOT damage. Not really something under your control, sadly, that one. Something that you have to live with and just reject the headshot decree as much as possible. That's a void rig. So I'm about to run out of my third ability, Mortality. That's fine. You cannot really die with this Warframe if you play her correctly, so that doesn't really matter, in my opinion. But yeah, abuse shield gates, abuse the fact that your third ability can mitigate all the damage for you for free, and just start bowling. Start taunting shit. Because you simply can. Mania. Oop. That's what should happen to every acolyte if I'm not shit. Like the other times. Alright, we got the melee attacks are imbued with fire decree. So let's see if it works on the Pathusi. Or I will have to melee it around like an idiot. Because I would not. Oh, it does work. It does work. Okay, perfect. Yep. Let's say some heat procs. It does work. Very nice. Man, I really need that fire decree right now. That fire decree is calling my name, and I am simply not answering. Kill enemies within 10 meters. If we had a better melee weapon, this would have been so much faster, but honestly, using the Bubonico with how many decrees we have right now, this should be absolutely fine. Let's run through the enemies real quick. We kind of have infinite ammo on it anyway. Since when we kill someone, it gives us ammo back and we have primary crux on it, so we can just hold the fire button down. That's why Grim Armory is literally like one of the best decrees you can find in the game. I think if I was to rank... Wait, actually, chat. Decree tier list. Decree tier list. Like Koumei and non-Koumei ones. Thoughts? Low key? Am I cooking? Hello? Decree tier list? And ironically, that would help someone who plays Koumei a lot, and someone who plays the Furi a lot as well. Like if you want to get an encounter weapon, you're a new player, the crit tier list. Here you go. Yo, I might do that. I will do that. Fuck it. I will do that. The crit tier list. The crit tier list. Expected in the next 2 days. What the hell? We're getting the best ideas from a random Koumei run on a random survival mission against the... What were these called again? This faction? The Murmur? But yeah, you can clearly see why I want the fire decree now, right? On the Bubonico. Literally infinite ammo Bubonico. Can I have it? Kill enemies with headshots. Alright. Thinking time. The legs, the headshot is between the legs on the crotch area essentially. So, you know, just aim for that. Same thing for Moas. Moas have their headshots on the crotch area. I don't know why Moas have it, or these guys, to be honest. I think Steve is to blame for that. Thank you, Steve. Anyways, I'm gonna activate life support here. Oh, there is 8 life supports there. What the? Interesting. There is no shame is using life support. Oh, melee attacks hit twice. That's gonna be very funny with my melee weapon of choice, I think. So we have melee duplicate on top of melee duplicate right now. What? Is this normal? What does this do? Uh-huh. Didn't even gas broker. Melee duplicate on top of melee duplicate. Interesting. Kill enemies with electricity. Okay, my Bubonico should have electricity. By default, so yep. Just use alt fire because primary fire, the electricity is converted to corrosive. Because the Bubonico is innately toxic. Very cool, I know. So yeah, if you mod the Bubonico for blast and electricity like I have, you get corrosive blast primary fire and electricity viral blast on the alt fire. The alt fire goes kind of crazy. Anyways, we're done with that. Now, why the Plinx? So far, the Plinx hasn't seemed that optimal or insane. So far, I'm basically using the Bubonico, right? The Plinx, once we get the decree where rolling makes us reload our weapon, that decree makes it so that Tenet Plinx we're able to roll then alt fire, then roll then alt fire, then roll then alt fire forever. And remember, rolling on Koumei is basically an ability because rolling gives you ammo efficiency, critical damage, it restores some of your lost health if you have taken damage. It does a lot of things. It's literally an ability. So you're basically just spamming alt fires and rolls with it. And as long as you hit one guy on the head, yeah. Anyways, let's go. Oh, while sliding. So this one is my favorite as well. Because the simple thing you do is you do the jump decree, but you also slide in the air. So just hold control while you're moving and jumping. And that should do the trick. Primary weapon has infinite ammo. And we got double Hexat's pounds. Okay, cool. We're jumping. Oh, yeah. I think Hexat's pounds is base damage, so basically our alt fire now is hitting finally for a lot more. Like a lot more. Normally this doesn't really kill unless you're a Mirage or something. It's just for priming, but with Koumei and the decrees you can easily just get enough so you can start killing with it normally. Very cool. Can I please get the fire decree finally? Enemies doing wall edge. Thank you, Darzakavat. Very cool. Alright, we got ability efficiency instead. Well, that's unfortunate. We're not really using abilities here. If I had the null-star build, I would love my life right now, but I don't, sadly, so... Anyways. In my, yeah, thank you, bro. Gas. So yeah, the decrees, we're pretty much through all of them already, and how to do them. I don't think there is anything else. We got while sliding, while wall latching, while jumping, if you're close, if you're too far away. In general, if you're too far away, you can use either your Plinx, for example, if you're using the Plinx just like me and headshot people, or you can use a gas weapon, just like I have the The path assist. I actually got the decree. Okay, perfect. So use your gas weapon, add a gas proc like right there, and wait for enemies to walk to it. And just keep throwing your glaive. If your gas proc does enough damage, you can simply just do this. That's enough. And if you die, it's fine, because all the decrees also go to your operator, so you can just revive by hitting people. Secondary weapons deal red critical hits. You know what's funny? That actually nerfs me. That is low-key a nerf to me, because Plinx already does that. Also, I died because I lost my third ability, I believe. But we got a 21 and 666. And from what I see right now, we need at least 20, not 21. I was wrong before. I'm bad on that. But my math is wrong. Kinda hard to focus while playing at the same time, but it is what it is. Alright. There goes the gas proc. If enemies want to walk to the palace. Okay, perfect. Okay, Stormcaller. Another amazing decree. This is amazing on both the Bubonico and the Plinx. So on the Bubonico, we're 94 ammo right now because of it. On the Plinx, the alternative fire of the Plinx works like this. It takes 10% more damage the more maximum ammo or magazine ammo you have. So this increases our magazine capacity by 100%, which basically doubles your damage on the alt fire of the Tenet Plinx. Very cool, I know. So, without any stacks, we can see 10 million damage with this right now. So now, only thing we need for the Plinx to completely break is the decree that when you roll, it reloads your weapon. Once we get that, it's over. We have reached pretty much maximum Plinx capacity. Oh, it requires me to kill with it. Yeah, it's completely insane. When you get that decree, this weapon, it transforms. Like you hit one headshot, you miss maybe like a lot, because it is the Plinx. Oh, let's actually use this. Why not? Should help. Wow, it dealt 0 damage to that Void Rig, but it's okay. I have a Plinx. I have a Plinx. Yo, hello, can you look other direction? Thanks. I damage capped him. Why did I damage cap him? I don't know, but I did. So that's fun. Enemies within 10 meters. For the Bubonico, it's just simply the spam more once we have Pirate, but for the Plinx, it's actually really big to get the Stormcaller decree. The damage skyrockets once you do. Like, wait, let's try to get a damage cap on the Plinx normally. That is not, you know, the Acolyte, or not the Acolyte. Sorry, the dude. Oh, whoops. Okay, you. 146 million. I mean, no roar. That's not bad actually. For no roar, that is genuinely pretty good. Ideally, by the end of this run, you will have learned something. You will have seen how actually good the Plinx can be. Because we're already in a really decent scenario for it. And you will also be able to play Koumei more optimally. Or try her out maybe, I don't know. Maybe you have never played Koumei because you thought, oh, she's just bad because some other YouTubers said so. A lot of YouTubers have the opinion that Koumei is just a really bad Warframe in general. Honestly, she's really fun to play, in my opinion. Like, sure, the decree system that you get a random one instead of getting whatever you want, that's kind of annoying. I will agree. But the actual gameplay loop of Koumei is really fun. A lot of people also say that decrees work against you when you're playing as Koumei. Because some decrees for, let's say, you get a decree that gives you hit damage on your melee and you're playing influence. There is a misconception that that decree will make your electricity damage on melee influence turn into radiation. And they have changed that a long time ago, so that doesn't actually happen anymore. We got it. Okay, Rangers reload. So now, what can we do? We can simply do this. Shoot Altfire, roll. Shoot Altfire, roll. Shoot Altfire, roll. 600 million damage. Now we're final boss material. Yup. Any accidental headshot is a guaranteed kill. Now, you may be like, okay, this is single target. Well, it's not exactly single target. The second part of the Altfire gives you AoE. So you have that. But you're also forgetting this Warframe can get Fault Finder. So the moment we get Fault Finder, we suddenly will have AoE. Also, look at the damage. I mean, the damage is kind of nuts. It took me not too long to actually get this combination. Like, what, are we 25 minutes in the mission or what? 25-30 minutes? I didn't even check. It's actually really fun to play this frame, so the time goes by without me really realizing where I'm at. Which is quite funny. 148 million. Yeah, we're on 30 minutes. So 30-minute time, we already have the Thanos combination that we need. Like, literally, Stormcaller and Ranges Reload is all you need, and this weapon is immediately Thanos. Anyway, let's actually play with our weapons real quick. The ones that we actually need to play with. I know I'm, like, getting out of hand here with the Plinx without even maxing it out, but you can see, like, how insane this combo is. The moment you get Ranger's Reload, you can spam Altfire, and the moment you get Stormcaller, your Altfire deals double damage multiplicatively, so... Oh, Fortified Will. Free ability strength, why not? Oh, more free ability strength. Our fourth ability might kill on its own. That's kind of funny. I should have broke. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Just shoots and you're good. Hey, don't do that. But yeah, all of the deaths so far have been pretty much skill issue. The first death, not death really, but down, because you can't really die. As long as you play operator, this doesn't die. But yeah, what I'm saying is, the first actual death that I had, or down that I had, was me losing my third ability. This one was me not rolling. In general, skill issue. What? Oh, she died anyway. What the fuck? Hello? Yo, my fault for missing that. Hello? What the fuck? Riot. Riot Games is behind everything, I tell you. That company. The plague is expanding to other games. My fucking god. Can I please not do dumb shit? Thanks. Oh, hey man. Alright. Stable resistance. This is the prime sure-footed degree. If you don't have prime sure-footed, wow, now you have prime sure-footed. That's crazy. What should I slot instead of prime sure-footed? Nothing. Get stable resistance. How to get prime sure-footed before the loading reward. Like Koumei. Also, in all honesty, you can first of all, if you are in a Warframe that doesn't really take damage and you want to ignore the knockdown from your AoE weapon of choice, you can simply use your Archon deployer and take your Archon back in, and that will give you 2000 overguard. But you can also, what do you call it? You can also use sure-footed plus fortitude, which yeah will be 2 modes instead of 1, but it does get the job done, so why not, right? Accelerated Agito. Wow. I wonder how much Stella will get from this. Not that I need them anymore, but when I was building Archon swords, I needed Stella like crazy, I'm not gonna lie. I know fish. Chill. Bomba. Least ADHD Koumei gameplay right here, holy shit. I love it. But yeah, I wish I just had a better mission to do this, me. The murmur lacking headshots is kind of annoying. They don't really lack the headshots, but they're definitely in weird spots. Like, why would you put your head onto your shoulder? What kind of that bullshit is that, I mean? Oh, that's 1.8 billion. Interesting. Hello. Goodbye. Smoldering strikes. Low key, I should have brought Lieutenant Glaxion. I feel like Lieutenant Glaxion could be funny with us. Guys, the torrent. We should use the torrent. You know, one thing that is kind of bad about Koumei is that the Incarnate weapons don't really work well with her decrees. It's kind of anti-Incarnate. Maybe that's why people don't like her. Because, you know, you get the extra magazine capacity decree and the Grim Armory decree, and those decrees basically do nothing for her. Alright. But yeah, the Grim Armory decree, the one that like refills your ammo magazine, That one is overpowered for sure. Like that one is really, really strong. And then you have the other decree that gives you magazine capacity. And once you have both of them, you basically become Thanos in every weapon, right? But if you have an incarnate weapon, these decrees do not matter if you want to use the incarnate form of the weapon. They basically do nothing for it. Now, if you want to use the non-incarnate form of the weapon, haha. Alright. The Pathosis was a really good idea here. Also, if you see me orange crit on it, that's probably the Adarzakovat. It should have orange crit this time. This thing. The Darzakavat gives you 60% flat crit chance, so it definitely takes it to orange crit territory. But without that, we shouldn't see orange crit, so melee duplicates should be perfect on it. Alright, proficient fighter again. Not ideal, but whatever. The game also keeps giving me the Bubonico, even though I don't have the fire rate buff to actually use it properly yet. Once I do, it's gonna become way easier to stack decrees and reduce my cooldown with this thing. So far, I just have to rely on the weapon being good, essentially. Oh my god, guys, new mode Fatal Attraction. What the hell? I've never got this before. Just... Oh, that's a bomb video. Hello. Yo, hello, can I shoot? Thanks. I wonder if she will die. She didn't die. Oh, no, she did. Oops. Alive support me. Oh, I'm affected by puncture. Okay, so I deal less damage. That's cool. If only I had that one decree that gives me the cold procs when I crit someone. That would make this challenge much easier. But it is what it is. We'll do it normally. If I got that one, then I can simply use any of my weapons. All three of them are viable for that one. Anyways, this looks good, I guess. Octavia, yeah, I like that. So. Essentially, what you see me do is an uncut farm of steel essence. That's exactly what is happening right now. Just an uncut run of farming steel essence. While struggling to keep life support up because I'm on Deimos survival mission. This survival in general has less enemies, which is why I didn't want to do it at start, but I really want the steel essence. I'm gonna be so for real. If I'm gonna do the challenge, I might as well like get the steel essence so I can get more Kuva, right? Would be a waste if I didn't, especially since I have the resource boosters. Retreat to the sanctum. Primary weapon has infinite ammo. Very cool. Please, Bubonico. Pretty please. One more. Those are not cold prokes. Those are cold prokes. Okay. Nimble Gunner, another rolling decree, but more importantly, it was a golden decree, which means we are getting closer to maximum decrees. That's very important. I love how I was getting attacked, and I just... What the hell is this? What? Okay. Largest area I've ever seen for no reason has 1,000,000 life supports. What? This is like the arena of... Oh, dude, I hate this. Why can I get so many random places for the life supports to spawn? The town set is not even that big normally. Let's go to show that how dumb this survival mission really is. Like, why is there an outside part when I'm already at extraction point without ever going outside? You know what I mean? But hey, this is a cool area. Cool little area with a lot of entrances. Maybe it's good? Maybe. We'll see. Hopefully it will help for getting some of the decrees, but... Doing a wall latch. Can I? Yes, I can. Alright, Wyrmling's Aid. We have corrosive damage for free. So my alt fire now for the Bubonico also does corrosive damage. Very fun. If only it had some fire so I can make use of it, but whatever. Also, this area is pretty nice. I'm glad I found it by accident. Enemies are kind of coming from all directions, spawning sort of close. This works. While sliding. Oh, that worked. What the? Okay. 136 million. Oh, he's gonna spawn shadows over there. Oh, what the fuck? Wait, are they just gonna die to the gas port? Well, we'll never know, my bad. Anyways, blinking time. I love how I hit that guy by accident in the head. And his supposed head, that is. Because I don't really know if these count as headshots. And that guy just died instantly, even though I didn't do damage to him. Interesting. Oh, this is a decree. Golden one too. This is definitely some gameplay right here. I love it. I love Koumei. Alright, but I would like that Octavio, the strong part, low key. That would be really nice to have. Basically, my goal is for these alt-fire shots to just all hit damage cap by the end, and I know it can happen because there are some decrees that can increase the damage of these multiplicatively, some decrees that can give me corrosive damage, and some other decrees that just work, I guess. So, and at the end of the day, we can also have fault finder, so if we hit one person in the head, they all die. Oh, electricity. And you know, this also is something to show you that you don't actually need to have a specific element on all of your weapons for Koumei to work. It does help early game, like when you want to get your first few decrees, but after that, when you actually have your decrees, you don't really need to. It's essentially free to get the decrees. Like for heat damage, I have my melee weapon right now, even though it's not the best. I could have easily have taken an influence weapon, and that would make it so that I could get those decrees instantly and just go to the next one. But I wanted to try the Pathusi. Okay. Okay. Well, this area is great. I'm actually gaining life support after a very long time of just constantly losing. Kill enemies with headshots. Well, the headshot decree with this weapon, as you can see, is like very simple to do. So, yeah. Oh, this should work, right? It does seem so, yes. Maybe it doesn't, but we will never know. I think the hypothesis might be a bit too strong to see if it does or not. What the? What are you doing here? Get out of here. Alright, sliding again. Yippee. Yeah, the sliding, the jumping ones are very simple. The wall edge one is easily the best you can get because the kills are negligible. We got duelist advantage, which, guess what? Since we're reloading the thing here, I think it should work. I could wait to see. You know what? I saw 1.1 billion damage on a Wolverine. I think it does work. I think it's safe to say it does work. Oh my god. So yeah, that decree is multiplicative, by the way. So yeah, our damage just skyrocketed again for the billionth time now. Very cool. Enemies within 10 meters. Honestly, you know what's funny? I have Arcane Impetus. I haven't casted my abilities in so long that I pretty much lost it. Oh, and Violence died from a gas croak. That's funny. Oh shit. Yo, I need to cast 3 before the timer runs out or I'm gonna die. We got Between the Eyes again. Again, this works on the Plinx, obviously, so... My god. It is additive, so, you know, there's that, but... I mean, should you really complain about getting more damage even if it's additive? I don't think you should. Anyways, back to farming. But yeah, kinda crazy. In a 1.5 hour run, on the first 30 minutes of the run, we already have the Thanos combo on the Plinx, and we're just gaming. And then 20 minutes later, it's pretty much damage capping. Like, look, there's nullifier right here. If I can get through his shield, hello. 616 million? That doesn't seem normal. To be honest, I think that should have done more damage than that. But I think I didn't have my reload in, so maybe it shouldn't, I don't know. Anyways, big open space, finally, so I can make use of my 4th ability correctly and make this decree not actually suck to get every single time. Fucking finally. My god, this area was so good. The fire is so good. Low key, if I want to get the fire decree, I probably want to remember its name, right? Then I will get it. Thoughts? It is called Irresistible Bombardment. I didn't get it. I tried, man. I tried. The game doesn't want me to have it. I want to spam my Bubonico like crazy. Please, man. Well, it's okay. But yeah, as you can see, Koumei, the decrees are actually not hard to get at all. Once you know what you're doing, and especially once you get rolling, it becomes pretty much a piece of... What the... Okay. I don't know why I did that. A piece of cake. You simply need to remember what your abilities actually do, because every decree is basically an ability. And just understand your playstyle. Very ADHD, very fun to play. Lots of movement, lots of taking care of, looking at the screen. Very chill to play, unlike some other Warframes. You don't need a lot of KPM or APM on them. I mean, not KPM. KPM you do need a lot. But the APM, you know, this is low cortisol gameplay essentially. This is essentially playing Revenant but with way more damage at this point, because we are very strong. We have reached the point where we can just ignore the enemies, straight up shoot them and survive. Because, haha, Omamori, very funny. But yes, if the misinformation surrounding Koumei would go away, maybe lots more people would play her. Because there are still people thinking that, oh, my melee influence builds are gonna go to shit if I play her, or my 3rd ability is useless because it only blocks damage every whatever seconds that it has a cooldown, or, you know, all of the other ridiculous stuff that has happened. But this is an incredible Warframe. This is an actual goated Warframe. The one thing that I will agree with people is the fact that right now, you see how I got whooping my asthma? I don't want whooping my asthma. My jumping slide kick, seriously, this, it adds a viral output. Incredible. You know, like, obviously I don't want that. It is something that I sadly have to bear with when playing this Warframe, but if I could simply have the augment of Koumei built into her, and then have another augment that allows me to choose which decree I want, similar to Duviri, then I would love that, but it's up to D if they want to do that or not. Everything else about her is pretty much perfect. Okay. You know what I just realized? My mouse went away from the screen to my second monitor. I was not playing any music so far. I was just yapping to myself. So if I sounded crazy the entire time, I might have an explanation and I'm very sorry. But now I can actually like chill. Maybe the music wouldn't help because I wouldn't be able to explain the challenges, but I think it will help me now, definitely. Without sounding schizophrenic. If you guys are wondering what I'm listening to right now, the band is called Mansioner. I can't use their songs in my videos because obviously I will get copyrighted. But I think their songs are amazing. Their sound is generally amazing. And it's not something that you probably expect to hear from me as a metalhead. Because I do like metal music a lot. I have some playlists in the channel if you guys are interested. I have lots of playlists. Depending on what my mood is and what I want to listen to. And in general, I think you will find them interesting. There's also playlists about the epic disruption weapons videos that I used to do that people want back for some reason, even though disruption missions are kinda dead after Noko's update, sadly. Thank you, D, for killing my favorite missions. I absolutely love that from you. Anyway, Wallach time. I would kill to bring back all the attenuation on disruption, or the damage reduction that the disruption targets used to have. That shit was so perfect. Like, honestly, the best iteration of damage attenuation were those disruption targets, where the targets feel low-key tanky, and especially with the old armor system, it was even better on how their tankiness worked. Where they could have 99.99 whatever percent armor, and then you actually had to prime, do a lot of things, and then hit the damage that you wanted. Obviously, we're not on that era anymore, but I do miss that era a lot. And I wish D would do something about making the enemies a bit tankier again. Because we have... You know what, I will say it. Let's start this conversation, why not? I don't know how many people will be here for this conversation and how many comments I will say about this, but I want this conversation to happen at some point. We are too strong. Like, undeniably too strong on this game. This is not a part of my steak is too juicy and whatever you want to call that. This is simply, we are way too strong for this game. We need to get nerfed to the ground as players. And I'm not saying, oh, nerf the turret, nerf this, nerf that, nerf whatever I don't like. I'm saying nerf everything to the ground. We need to. We really need to. And I'm not saying that we need to do this in order to make the player base feel bad or make the game feel less nice to play, because you can still have the dopamine of hitting damage cap or way higher numbers if you build properly. The issue right now is that it's so easy to reach damage cap, to become immortal. You have so many ways to do it, and pretty much everyone can do it, and it's to the point where you literally cannot die or like have an issue killing anyone in this game if you want to play. We're at a point where even Elite Deep Archimedia and Elite Tempora Archimedia have become cakewalks because Arcane Circumvent is in the game. If you're with a Warframe that you haven't put a correct build on them, you can simply run them alongside a semi-strong melee, primary, whatever you want weapon, run Arcane Circumvent, and just simply generate all the free overguard from the enemies and be done with it. And I think that's a problem. Now, I don't think it's Arcane Circumvent's fault, to be honest, because I think design-wise, Arcane Circumvent is good. It should be maybe a bit less good. Like, you should have a cooldown on how many times you can absorb the... Or not how many times, you know, how often you can absorb the defensive of enemies, because when... Look at what I'm playing against, right? This is Overguard slope, so... I will have permanent Overguard if I'm ever running Circumvent here. And on Elite Deep and Elite Tempora Archimedia, it's even worse. You basically have permanent Overguard on enemies. especially when people have bolstered what is it called? Bolstered deliverance? I don't remember. But yeah, that's literal permanent overguard. And when that happens and you have the arcane, you're basically immortal immediately. Like no matter what, you cannot die with the arcane. You just need to spam rolling. And it also deals damage since, you know, enemies have overguard. You want to take care of their overguard. You hit them with the arcane. It takes half their overguard, gives 10,000 to you, and then the enemy can die. It's kind of insane. It's also the reason why people were able to do level cap cascade without mods on anything. Like, you can do level cap cascade without mods on any weapon, without a pet, just with arcanes. And the way you do it is you simply take a secondary that deals magnetic damage, and then you put magnetic onto an enemy, roll through them twice, so the magnetic proc becomes an electricity proc which scales with the enemy's max health, because that's how magnetic procs work. And then melee afflictions and duplicate the electricity's effect to 8 stacks. And the targets, the Thrax targets, yes, at level cap, get 1 tap. Just like that. It is really silly, and it is in fact so silly that I don't think it should be allowed in the game for us to do that, and also be like immortal at the same time. No, it's like, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, we don't need balance in the PvE game. Yeah, you do, because if you don't have balance in the PvE game, the game becomes boring. How long can you go shooting Torrid, Revenant, or whatever other weapon onto an enemy before you actually get bored to hell of the game? You know what I mean? Like, oh, that was an interesting number. Anyways, so as I was saying, right? How long can you go with that without getting completely bored out of your mind? It doesn't take that long, trust me. The main issues I have with the game at the moment that I think D could look into to make the game a lot better is, first of all, the power of the player being so high that it doesn't really matter. And second of all, the fact that Steel Path is completely unbalanced, and it has been forever. Like, it even got worse after Jade Shadows because of the tweaks, but Steel Path has genuinely been absolutely disastrous. Not in terms of gameplay, because the gameplay is fun in Steel Path, like doing this, getting Steel Essence, rerolling with Kuva, whatever. It's the main thing that keeps me on the game, aside from Wisps being on this game. And in general, I think you should be able, so you shouldn't be able, once you reach Steel Path, to be able to also deal with any mission on Steel Path, right? Like, if you can do any mission on Earth on Steel Path right now, you can do every mission on Steel Path, because the only thing that changes isn't the armor or the enemies, it's the amount of health they have, and the change is minimal. Like, you have level 100 to level 150 enemies, the change is what? 1 million health at most, like EHP wise. That's nothing. The tankiest enemy difference would be 1 million health, and that's genuinely nothing. The regular enemies, I swear, I actually bet that the difference won't be even like 300,000 health. It will be less than 300k. It's that bad right now, where you literally need to have something to rebalance Steel Path on how it is, rebalance the health scaling of enemies. Because genuinely, right now, the player, they reach Steel Path for the first time, Steel Path feels completely unbeatable, right? They just can't do anything about it. They just go in, deal no damage, die, and then search on normal path to become stronger. And then they get one weapon that can easily deal with Steel Path, and one Warframe that can stay alive. Then every Steel Path mission becomes a cakewalk. Every Steel Path mission is literally almost impossible to lose after. And that is a big problem in my opinion. Like, when I introduce people to this game, they get hooked because basically I kind of sell the game well to them, but the game is also fun, especially in the early game. But I'm like, yeah, like this game has incredible story, we have to get to it, and then, you know, we kind of play more, and once they get to the story part, the second dream, they are already hooked, so they want to play more. And they get addicted, as they do, as normally we all did. We got 300% Stormcaller. Oh my god, and hold up. I'm gonna continue in a bit. %300 more damage on the Altfire. Yeah, this is no. How did that miss? Bomba. Anyways, yeah, as I was saying, people get hooked in this game, early game, because of course this game is really fun, it's good. I'm not saying that the game is bad. This is not to, like, talk shit to the devs or anything. This is simply feedback and things that I think people will agree with me and will really want to connect the dots, essentially. I'm just trying to help you connect the dots to see what I'm saying. Because at the moment, when the player gets hooked into the game, they're like, oh my god, I'm playing the game, it's really fun, I love the story, I'm gonna play it more, whatever. I have all these modes to max, get stronger, do stuff. Like, it's just all so fun. The process of getting stronger in this game is really, really fun. And that's why people really love guide videos, really love, like, the strong weapons and all that. It's not to simply do steel path. Sometimes it is to do steel path for the first time. But a lot of the times, it's because you want to get stronger. Getting stronger feels nice in this game, being the raid boss that you are. And if you nerf our damage, that doesn't change at all. Like, it literally doesn't. You're still gonna be raid boss. The issue right now is that your raid boss, even for level cap, your raid boss no matter what you're playing. And when you are the raid boss, things that could be difficult and more fun for people that want them, like raids for example, or new bosses, because you know how D used to do Eidolons and Profit Taker and all those really important bosses that felt really fun and long. We can't have those anymore, sadly. And Pablo said this, that they're not gonna do it because basically he doesn't know how to introduce difficulty onto them when the player is basically immortal and deals damage cap to everything. So unless they would nerf everything, which according to him is not what the community wants, and I agree, I don't think the community wants that, then we're just never gonna get it. The issue is, I feel like the community should want to get nerfed a little. Like, unironically, we have reached a point where dying is a suggestion. You can't really die, you can't really have any issue killing anybody. You just find more and more ways to deal damage cap and be strong, which is fine, don't get me wrong. But you can do that even if we nerf our damage and our arcanes and everything. Like, you can still do that. The game won't change gameplay wise. The only thing that will change is the number you see on the screen. And yeah, sure, if you don't want to do that, we can increase the health of the enemies, but at some point, because this game is on 32-bit, we reach a cap. That cap right there that you saw, that is the cap that we reach. Thank you, game, that was extremely nice of you. I couldn't have edited this better myself. But yeah, you get what I mean, right? Like, you needed to have some sort of balance and have some sort of thing to the game that keeps you at bay as in power level. Because when that reaches out of control, then the game starts becoming more and more boring. Warframe late game, once you do whatever you want and you get everything, is basically try to find as many ways to damage cap as possible to not get bored out of your mind, because if you simply keep using Torrid and Revenant or whatever is the most meta thing you want to use, you're just not doing anything. The game essentially starts playing like an auto-clicker, and that's not fun to me or anybody who likes RPG games. Also, can I just say, I'm 1 hour 10 minutes in, I haven't got that 1 decree yet that gives me cold damage on crits. I'm kind of mad about that. But yeah, when you are a new player, you wanna get to Still Path. You get to Still Path. For the first time, Still Path feels impossible and you're like, oh my god, I gotta get stronger. Like, this is so insane. I really need to get stronger. I didn't know I was so far behind. That's kind of what you think, right? Like, you're like, oh my god, I've been clearing these enemies so easily. Why does it feel so impossible to do this? I feel so far behind. And it makes sense. Because at that point, the player, the highest thing they can do is Sortie. And Sortie, compared to Still Path, like even level 100, is a difference of 200 or 350% health. I don't even remember anymore. So there is a huge difference in power of what the enemies can actually tank, and when the enemies can tank a lot more, they can also hit you a lot more, and that feels very impossible to play because you essentially get one-shotted after a while. Especially because the new player will probably no touch arbitrations first, and they don't know what adaptation is, they don't have it, etc. So you start off on Still Path, it feels impossible, and then you continue. And once you reach a point, Still Path feels like you don't even need to do anything anymore on it. You just kind of auto. You take any Incarnon weapon of your choice, like you go to the Incarnon week, you can play Duviri for as long as you want because Duviri gives you the decrease, so taking the Incarnon is not actually super difficult, especially when you're in squad. And once you do, then you one-shot the Still Path enemies again, and it starts becoming sorted level again, because Still Path enemies do not deal more damage. They simply tank a lot more. So if you can kill them faster, then nothing changes, right? So I had a proposal to make the Still Path enemies way tankier, so this feels better, but also introduce more levels into the arcanes to actually scale your damage if you decided to go there. But even though that would be cool in a perspective, I don't think DE can even do that in the first place, so that would be out of the window. But at this point, I would just like for things to be straight up nerfed. Like everything, all of the arcanes maybe, and then some of the base damages of weapons to be nerfed. And if they don't want to nerf the disposition of Torrid, let's say, and all that, that's fine. Just nerf the base stats a bit. Like, if you can easily nerf the base stats of some Incarnon weapons, keep them a lot more powerful than regular weapons, especially if you add the Riven mode. Or you can simply nerf the Riven mods, and they would still be balanced, in my opinion. I don't think Incarnon weapons are as good as a lot of people think, compared to other weapons especially. They have a lot of caveats that the player has to go through. What's really good about Incarnons is that their power, compared to how much investment the player needs to put on them, is very low. Which makes them ideal for an early game player and makes them very... Oh, Marauders nerf. Very charitable. Cherishable? That's probably the correct word. I don't know, whatever. People want them. That's what I want to say. I didn't even hit her. I'm sorry, Malice. I didn't even mean that. Loki, I didn't even want to hit you. It just kind of happened. Hope you can forgive me. Jesus. I feel like the Hollow Vein is probably getting damage cap, which is why we didn't see any damage there. But yeah, it's kind of crazy right now. We're a bit behind on decrease, I feel like, and that's because I'm yapping a lot and not really paying attention, but also because of our slow start. and we still feel unbelievably strong, even though we don't have the fire decree, we don't have fault finder, we don't have like a lot of things. The crit transforms to cold damage. I think you can also get the finisher decrease on Koumei, so times fortune, and the other one that gives ability strength. The one that gives you armor when you do corrosive damage, I think we can also get that. Deadly momentum, we didn't have that either. So we have a lot of stuff to go, so this might be a 2-hour run because of my yap and not being focused at all. Which is fine, I don't mind playing for 2 hours. Hopefully you don't mind watching for 2 hours. Having it in the background and listening to my yap like a... What do you call them? You know what, I don't remember what I wanted to say. Screw it, I don't remember. But what I do want to say though is I want to like keep you yapping about the game and how the game could be better. Which, you know, people might be scared of the idea of what I'm saying here, but it's honestly like not too bad. You're really scared of change, and you know that's fine. That's the usual thing, especially in psychology. Amongst men don't like change at all. It's scientifically proven actually, and I get that, but sometimes change needs to happen, because if change doesn't happen, the game remains stagnant and you just stop liking it. And this is why player retention stops becoming important. But right now are not focused on keeping players that have already played their game for hundreds of hours. They are focused about the players that have just started the game and want to get into the game, but they don't. Which is why they keep making these early game changes and advertising early game stuff to lure in players and make them start playing the game. Because obviously, when you're a game developer and you see the stats and who pays the most, they will see that those people are the ones paying the most. And I'm not calling DE greedy. They need to make money to keep the game alive and keep their company alive. That's just how it works. I'm just saying that it makes sense from a perspective of what the devs want to introduce more stuff about the early game of the game than the late game of the game, or you know, once people actually get to the slow pass stuff and all that. But we could definitely have a lot better stuff if we decided to do this. And I think since the early game right now of the game plays really well, nerfing the base stats of our stuff, of our Warframes, shouldn't really be the case. It doesn't sound like the best idea. But nerfing the arcanes that make our stuff really OP, or nerfing some mods that make our stuff really OP, those could work as well. Like, you could straight up nerf condition overload in the galvanized mods by a bit to, let's say, need 3 status effects to match duration and all the other stuff. Right now it's like 80% damage for galvanized aptitude. You could do that to 60%, and that would still be fine. I'm still getting that cold decree. That's fucked up actually. And that would help a lot with keeping the game a bit more balanced that way. Overall, I have replayed the game from the start like 3 different times, maybe even 4. And when I replay the game, I realized immediately that the early game feels so good and well balanced. Like, you're strong, but you can actually die. You need to play with the mechanics of the enemies to actually kill them, such as Nox is you need to hit them on the head, or nullifiers, you need to actually hit the drone, or you know, all of that good stuff. But all this, when you reach late game, this gets lost completely. And once it gets lost, the game starts becoming less fun. And I'm not saying that, you know, you should reach a point where you don't have to, where you have to pay attention to that stuff again. But maybe if I'm fighting a Nox at level cap, I shouldn't be able to kill him with a body shot. Also, finally. Finally. Oh my god, I can... After 75 minutes, I can enjoy my Buba Nico. This is great. But yeah, I would be really happy to see if the first of all reworked the still path scaling, and second off nerf a bit of our arcanes and some mods maybe. Mods not really necessary, but arcanes I think way more necessary. Because our arcanes are just straight up too powerful. I like 360% damage from primary, secondary arcanes, way too strong. Melee influence and a lot of other melee arcanes, way too strong. Like, you really need to do something about it. If you want the game to be balanced, that is. Not if you, like, if you want to increase player satisfaction. Because I know that if D does it, there will still be like a lot of posts on Reddit, a lot of people will be mad, and you know, whatever. They can go ahead and try a bit, but at some point I did the same with the Noko update, and when they removed damage attenuation from disruption targets, I still wasn't happy, but at the end of the day, I just took the win that I could where disruption was not completely dead and the targets would just be squeezier. I'm still not completely happy about that, but it's better than the disruption target on level 1 not being one-shottable by any type of sniper type weapon. Like, it was crazy. You would use the epitaph on a regular enemy, deal 100 million damage, and then you would use the epitaph on the same enemy but as a disruption target, and the damage would be 1000. 1000. You would deal half of their health. That would be like the maximum amount. That cannot be healthy in any way, shape, or form. Sure, you can make a damage attenuation formula that actually works at the end of the day, but it needs to scale with player's damage instead of scaling with the enemy's health. Current version of damage attenuation is way better. Not ideal, but just way better in general. And I feel like D is kind of done with it for now until they find some reasonable way to do it. But yeah, it was really bad. It was genuinely, when that happened, pretty much every person ever that played Void Cascade was like, okay, well, or not Void Cascade, sorry, Disruption. They were like, yeah, okay, that's it. We're cooked. I just wish at this point that we could have some sort of difficulty when it comes to endless missions again, because endless missions will never feel any difficult ever again, no matter what you do. And I think that's kind of sad. When you should stay in a survival mission for 3 hours, it should feel more difficult to do said survival mission. But yeah, that's not the case anymore, sadly. Oh yeah, also just remembered, because I'm on here, I can't actually increase the timer of the survival. Oh, okay. Nice damage number. Yup. Very cool damage numbers. Oh. Yes! That's exactly what I need! Oh my god. I love it. Okay, kill enemies with headshots. Go. Again, this what I've been talking about is not to talk shit about the developers. Again, this game, if you want my opinion on how it used to be and how it is now, it is 1,000 times better now than what it used to be, especially like gameplay wise. But that doesn't mean that the late game of the game hasn't been fucked in the ass. Straight up, I think if you take the way more bug-free gameplay we have now than back in the day, because the game was super buggy back in the day, it was very notorious for being buggy. In fact, a lot of people simply didn't start the game because of the bugs. And sure, there are bugs still in the game, but it's a lot better. It's a lot better than what it used to be. Like, seriously, especially with some literal game-breaking bugs, like losing complete control of your character, not being able to do anything. Those have been died down a lot. They still appear from time to time, but I barely see them anymore, if I'm being so for real. And when I see them, it's usually due to like extremely high ping. Like some guy has literally 2,000 ping. This game has a lot of really nice stuff to it. It's really fun in general to play. And the gameplay, the movement, and everything else, that's what keeps people playing even up to now. But we could definitely do better. Not in terms of gameplay, but in terms of balancing. And the devs know this, but the devs have listened to a part of the community that only cares about becoming stronger and they don't want to nerf anything. They're like, stop nerfing shit, we're tired of nerfs and all that, and this has backfired way too much, in my opinion. You should definitely be able to, as a new player especially, see these issues for yourself. And if you are an old player and you don't see these issues, you should, in my opinion, make a new account and try the game out. And try to just get strong as quickly as you can. And see how it feels. You will notice that on regular path, everything is fine. The progression feels amazing. You don't feel very strong. You feel like you need to be careful of stuff and shit like that. Which is exactly what needs to be done in terms of good balance in an RPG game. Or a power fantasy game, to be honest. Like, you can have a power fantasy game be balanced. Even though power fantasy doesn't really exist, that's not really an video game type. Kinda. What you're describing is an RPG game that you're basically destroying, but yeah. It is what it is. Some difficult. I'm not saying also to make the game impossible difficulty if you reach really high level. I'm saying that you can make a lot of adjustments to how the game is right now in terms of difficulty. Keep the player strong, but also introduce difficulty when difficulty is needed. Like, you would want Elite Deep Archimedia and Elite Temporal Archimedia to be difficult because those are considered the hardest missions in the game. You would want, let's say, if you introduce some type of raid, some type of new boss, you wouldn't want that boss to kick the player's ass a bit, you know? Just like the hard mode bosses do. What the? Damage caps? What did it create? Did I get? I didn't even see. I got something. Why am I damage capping so hard? What did I get? Whatever, we'll watching time. Hey man. Hey Angst. What's up? Yeah. I would love to see the take an approach where the player will actually take a bit of ass kicking. Just like the hard mode bosses. Because the hard mode bosses, yeah, they're nice to have in the game. They are a form of difficulty, even though they have become a lot easier over the time. Like a lot easier, very abusable. Especially the tank. I think the tank is the easiest one. And That could be a problem, but you can always do better, and you can always make it so the hard mode bosses are similar to the fragmented one. I think the fragmented one, especially before the damage attenuation nerfs, the hard mode boss, that was by far the best one. You have telegraph attacks that the player needs to look at and dodge. You have a lot of health for the player to go through. And you also have a lot of stuff to... a lot of options to deal with them. I think out of all the hard mode bosses, the fragmented one is my favorite one. Because he does a hard mode boss really well. And I'm not saying like, you know, everything should be a hard mode boss, but the hard stuff of the game should take inspiration from the fragmented one and have some difficulty without being utter bullshit. Because there is difficulty and sometimes there is utter bullshit. Again, the part of Elite Deep Archimedia that makes it difficult and Elite Temporal Archimedia that makes them difficult is the fact that you can't really pick your gear, but even that at this point with all the arcanes and all the stuff that we have has made it a lot easier. But aside from that, you also have deviations that make the mission pretty much unbearable to play through. Because, I mean, who wants to deal with having 50% less maximum energy that is also multiplicative to your maximum energy? Or the same thing for duration, or have no max ammo, like 75% less max ammo, or ammo cannot be picked up. Like, those are really weird. And I think the worst one is the operator one, like not having your operator, a core mechanic of the game, just simply removed. Yeah, those are kind of bullshit things that you introduce for difficulty. It's very artificial, it doesn't feel real, it just feels like, you know, you're kind of forcing difficulty onto the player by giving him some bullshit things to deal with. And ideally, you wouldn't want that. You would want actual difficulty, where the player needs to take care of the enemies before they die. For example, like life support is being drained when the Baba is up, or, you know, something like that. When a Baba spawns, the player needs to kill it, or else the life support drains faster. Like, those are good things to increase difficulty for the player. Those are good mechanics. They force them to take on a really scary enemy, kill them quickly, and then deal with it before continuing the mission. You have to focus on. And especially now that the Baba doesn't have damage attenuation, but it's simply very tanky, which I like the Baba. Honestly, the Baba has become one of my favorite enemies. I know it's called Baba, but at this point I'm so used to calling him Baba, and the name is so funny that I've stuck with it. I'm still waiting for that plushie D. The Baba plushie would go hard. Damage cap. Yeah, Plinx on this character is very fun anyway. Whoop. Oh my god, again. I do not regret picking the Bubonic Auto. My god, this is so fun. But yeah, see what I mean? Even if we nerf my damage right now, even if this Bubonico build gets nerfed to the ground, what I'm doing right now wouldn't change whatsoever. It would still do this. Like this exact thing, no deviation, like no difference. The same exact thing that I would be doing right now I would do even if my damage get nerfed. And I guess that's kind of Koumei's fault too, but like... Even with the Mirage video that I uploaded a few days ago and the short and all that showcasing with the Bubonico Mirage, those don't change. Like I can still do that. It would just be a bit less damage so that enemies kind of have a chance to kill me if I misplay it, and that's fine. Alright, this marks 1.5 hours, so yeah, as I said, 2-hour run in order here because I kind of fucked up, but it is what it is. Last time I did a speed run, this time I'm doing a slow run, I guess. Minus 1050. I don't know what that means, but I guess that's a lot of damage. Okay. One other thing you can do to nerf the player a bit is, I know I probably, if somebody has reached this point, I probably already have a lot of comments discussing this, because I know a lot of people will have opinions on this, but hopefully they listen to this part as well, where I'm talking about invisible frames. Like, invisibility frames should be, like, kinda forced to use the mod Hush, at least. Or something like that. Or the enemies should be able to shoot a random bullet whenever the player hits them towards the direction that they see the bullets coming, so that the player needs to move. And I know a lot of people will be like, oh, Ivar on the mod, but I mean, can it be so for real? We should like just rework Ivar S3 to give movement speed and parkour velocity already, like come on. Like Ivar 3 should be having a higher energy drain simply when you parkour, but when you are parkouring you should also have parkour velocity so that you are actually faster. I don't know why they haven't done that already. It's like the easiest fix ever, because the rest of Ivara's kit is unironically fine. Her 2 makes her invisible anyway, and you can use it to do some really funny shenanigans. Her 4 with Cone Caro, it's fine. I mean, I do miss the LOS check a bit. Like, I wish I didn't have it anymore as well, but honestly, I'm still fine with how the ability is. It's still really fun to play with and really strong, so I don't really mind that too much. Alright. A lot of golds. The game helping me out here, Logi. Minus 1056. Yo, drink is short every time at damage cap. I think that would be very fun to do. You know what's funny? No fault finder yet. Not me missing the most OP decree for this Warframe, by the way, in 1.5 hours. Alright, more Grim Armory. I don't mind that. I'll take that, as it helps my Bubonico spam a lot. Whoa, hello there. What's up? Also, I don't know if you've seen, but ever since the enemies reached level 200, I ignored them completely, so it is what it is. Oh, Bomba since Malice. Finally. Yo, that guy dodged my bullets. So my Arcane Swords are finally working, by the way. So far they hadn't worked at all. And there is a damage cut. Oh, watch, my favorite. What an incredible gameplay. Alright, Corrosive Grid. Wait, we actually had Corrosive Grid for a while now. Interesting. So, we're chilling, I guess? Alright, should I look in to keep the other decrease? I think I should, like, yap a bit more, not gonna lie. But, yeah. So far, chat, Askin, we're looking good for the Askin. I'm just gonna say it straight up. I'm just trying to upload this so I can have another uncut video of Koumei. First of all, because I like playing this frame, but second of all, because people had asked for it for a while now, and I'm just a lazy fucker and I didn't do it. My bad on that one. I will also do the level cap video that you guys have been asking. Don't worry about it. Like the level cap Strong video, Strong and Wisp, so you can see the actual damage from it. I just wanted to shoot one, okay? Alright, that should be it. Oh my god, Fault Finder! Oh my god, Fault Finder! Yes! Oh yes! Oh yes! Oh yes, look at that, it's beautiful. Yo, walk on that. Yeah, thanks. Oh my god, it's beautiful. Oh my god, it's beautiful. Oh, I love this decree. Wait, this was without roar? This was without roar? Boop! Yeah. Yeah, this decree is definitely something, don't worry about it. Holy fuck. My god, it's goated. Like, it's so good. It's so peak. What the hell am I looking at? Yeah, in case you guys don't realize, Fault Finder is gonna be the Z tier degree. It's definitely gonna be the Z tier degree. Alright, let's kill violence with eyesore. Fuck. Give me bullets, thank you. Goodbye, violence. My god. Wait a minute. That's kind of goated. I'm keeping that. Yeah, guys, if you want Varuna relics, you can go for a survival mission for almost 2 hours and get one. Radianted already. Thank me later. What the fuck? Okay. Anyways, we're watching. My beloved. Times Fortune. Okay, yeah, we can get those degrees. I remember correctly. But I'm glad to see them already, and that kind of means we're starting to run out of degrees finally, I think. Okay, my game did not like that. That lag you saw, that was from the game. My game did not like that shots from the Plinx. My goodness. Excuse me. What the hell even happened there? Oh my god, the damage cap is real. The damage cap is real. Bro, please, not this again. This decree just loves me. The game knows that he doesn't have cold damage yet. We need to do it. Oh my god. Minus 1100. Damage cap heaven. I mean, I said it. This is definitely the weapon of all time for this Warframe. It just looks so silly. I swear. How much still essence do I have? I can't even see. 24 times 4. I'm gonna guess I'm around 110. I know 24 times 4 doesn't do 110, but I'm kinda counting on that guy. Plus the mission itself just giving me all the stuff again. Anyway. Oh my god. You know what's funny? The game hasn't even given me the degree that when I roll I get critical damage. So yeah. Kill enemies with electricity. Don't mind if I do. It counts, right? Yeah, it does. Can Molly's walk to it? Yo, Molly's, where are you? Yep. Okay. She teleported right to it. Minus 1100. My god, please, I need a headshot. There we go. Now we just bring people here. Oh no, it doesn't count. Oh wow, what the fuck? Why does it not count? I guess the initial hit doesn't count, but then the electricity proc after that stays does, maybe? Because I did see it count, I swear. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh no, you did not just give me fault finder times 2. What the fuck? This game is comedy, pure comedy. Holy shit. Yeah, I don't know. Fault finder is just it's a decree of all time. I don't know why it got added to the game ever, because I will say straight up, it wasn't the game at the start, okay? It got added after. For some reason anyway. Do I mind it? Not really. It's a very fun decree, fun and balanced. Fun, fair and balanced, honestly. And without it, Koumei would probably be way worse, so why am I opening these relics? What the fuck am I doing? Oh my god. Moment, nobody cares. Jeez. I was opening Ninja relics. You know what's funny? I'm still trying to think about podcast. Yeah, that was it. From like 10 minutes ago or something. I just remembered it. This should feel like a podcast. It's crazy how slow my brain works sometimes. My god. Too much information. Berserker Furi? What? Just like that it drops? Okay. You guys want Berserker Furi? You need to go on a 2-hour survival run. Yeah. Interesting. I know it's not that hard to get, but still. Just for it to drop like that from a normal enemy randomly. Very interesting. Oh, I have infinite ammo anyways. Don't even need to be careful anymore. Wow. Oh, and even more pirates? Nah. Of course, that's exactly what I needed. Mania. I'm sorry for what's about to happen to you. I think she died to blindness. Okay, well. Yo, can you? Thanks. Within 10 meters, okay. Nice fire. Very cool. I mean, is Bubaniko balanced with this character? What am I looking at? Okay. Koumei is so cool, man. What other Warframe will you pick, go to a 2-hour run, and not get bored as a late game player? Seriously. You know what? Don't answer that. I don't want to see it. I'm gonna say a bunch of Wukongs in the comments. I already know. Z is already pre-typing Wukong right now. There is no way he's not. Z is probably clicked off the video already, but I'm just saying, if he's here, he's already pre-typing Wukong. Oh my god. Well, here's where the headshot decree gets a bit more difficult. Holy shit. At least with this setup I can do it, but it does get a bit more difficult for sure. Because Fault Finder just killed them. Okay, 3 more. There we go. The mini games of Koumei just feel super fun to do for me, not gonna lie. Those small mini games like ribbon challenges, they're so fun to do. Which, by the way, if you're still here, expect a ribbon mod challenge showcase, like how to do it with ease for people that want to unlock them. Minus 1100. Don't hit! No, you cannot be serious. This is rigged. You cannot be serious right now. Whatever. Let's see what the primary power does to the Acolyte. Oh yeah. What did I expect? Nothing else. Me, when my gun that one-shots everyone, one-shots actually everyone. Loki, I might start I might start denying this decree because annoying me, unless it gives me the cold damage now. Because my god. This decree is out to get me. It's always so much more difficult to do this one than to do the other degree, and I feel like if I just reject it and just pick another one, I will be able to do the other one very fast compared to this. Like, I would be able to reject this, get another degree, then take the new degree and just farm it. Probably, right? Just because I don't have that one degree that gives me full damage on my crits. Crazy. Okay, never mind, I might have done it. No, do that. Got 666. One more. Come on, surely you can put one cold proc on one of them. Hello? Cold procs? Thank you. Jesus. Yeah, I should definitely reject it. I'm getting it pretty much all the time now. I'm just scared that I will just reject it and get it again, you know? I wonder if I'm just that unlucky by getting this decree over and over, or if there's actually like a chance that if a decree takes you longer, the game just picks that one automatically. That would be kind of fucked up, not gonna lie. Not as fucked up as what the Plinx does with his character, but pretty fucked up. Oh. Yeah. Love me some Plinx. Oh, okay. Dude, I will do this plus the level cap. This is gonna, like, I'm gonna be full with Steel Essence. Holy shit. Hey, man. Venomous Touch? Oh, yeah, I didn't have that. Right. But yeah, Venomous Touch as well. If you have Influence, perfect. It's legit perfect. It's free damage for no reason. Kill enemies with headshots while affected by a heat proc. That's a lot of nullifiers. I'll try not to die. The heat proc actually hurts a lot as I lose armor from the decree that I have. That reduces my tankiness quite a bit. But it should probably be fine. What's not fine is Fault Finder just stealing all the headshots. Yep. Just one hit and everybody dies in that area. Okay, there we go. 2x Bombastin's Malice. I like that. Bombastin's Malice equals big damage if you headshot, so why not? Enemies that are far away. No, don't mind if I do. You know, it's also kind of crazy how fast you move with this, because you're getting parkour velocity when you kill someone, which makes you way faster when you roll. So all this just scales your movement speed a lot. You roll much further. Alright, Smoldering Strike. Maxed out as well. We should start getting to a point where we're done. Think that's gonna be like 10 more decrees or so. And not so bad for a mission that gives me less enemies to play with, to be honest. Because I think having more enemies to play with in the mission makes a huge difference when it comes to actually getting those decrees, since they require you to get kills. Like 50 kills takes kinda forever. And I'm on an area right now where I'm getting way more enemies than I used to before on that one area indoors, so... Very weird how that works, to be honest. I feel like this large open area could have given me way less enemies, but it hasn't. My life support has been way higher ever since I've been to this area. Is Zayn's gonna teleport to me? Yeah. Honestly, fire. Just straight up fire. Grim Armory maxed out as well. Oh. Bro. I mean, it doesn't matter, it's still just, but... Can I hit my shots? But yeah, Bubonico versus Zar. Zar is quite more explosive and quite a lot better, but they're both really fun. Oh, Venom Mustache also done. Trying to get 2 bad rolls in a row real quick. So I can abuse 666 mechanics. Alright, we got 2 in a row, finally. Will we get it? No, sorry. But we got an easy decrease, so it is what it is. Bombassin's Mal is done. We're almost done. After I'm done, I'll do 5 minutes with each weapon to showcase their potential, like the max potential. And then I'm gonna be done with. Starting off with the Plinx, of course, because that's the star of the show. Although I gotta say that Bonico is it is really fun. Not gonna lie. Swooping Miasma. Oh my god, we have so much to do in Swooping Miasma. We kinda need a gold Swooping Miasma right about now, so we can get it out of the way. Oh no, I'm affected by toxin. What will I ever do? Also, even if I run out of ammo, the Bubonic can't get this roll and just start the chain again. It's so dumb. Even if Grim Armory doesn't work for some reason, or I just waste my ammo like an idiot, I can just roll and it's GG. How I can play. Cithadel's outburst done. Bomba. I'm sorry I'm not talking about it a lot, but I'm kinda enjoying my time now, finally. Oh no, violence. What will I ever do? I didn't even headshot her. Low key, you can run this with galvanized modes instead of Agony, and it would still be absolutely incredible. Okay, headshots. Look in real quick. I think I still don't have the decree when I'm rolling and I'm getting crit damage, so that's kind of funny. Yep. Plinx is just a weapon of all time. Holy shit, I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh, Peridil Prime. Let's do it. Let's do it. Screw it. I have it already. I don't need a second one. Let's do it. Wallahi, I get it. Oh my god. Molten Metal. That's done. Again? No way. Oh yeah, I still don't have that degree. You know what? Reject. I'm not going for it again. I'm gonna stay true to my word and abuse my Bubaniko. Speaking of, it has infinite ammo now, so... Much better. I would much rather do this, yes. Oh, 20 meters away, whoops. Well, an earthquake just happened. Welcome to Greece, everybody. Land of the earthquakes. Yeah, I think... Okay, I think Fault Finder is not counting for my decrease at all. Because it killed there, and it's still killing there, and I'm not getting anything, so... Might need to miss on purpose now. But then not broke it. Oh shit, I hit it. But yeah, I need to miss on purpose in order to get the decrease from... You know that. But missing on purpose, you know, that's kinda fucked up. No? Yo, Misery, you're peeping way more than I expected from here. I actually didn't know that Fault Finder can make you miss decree kills. That's kind of fucked up. Well, at least it makes you far stronger, so... Plus, when you want to get passive kills, like your secondary dealing the Fault Finder kill, that actually does count, so... You know, that's still fine. Critical roll! Oh my god, it took so long. Okay, do we go for damage cap? Like, as much as we can? Yeah, as if, like, I'm not damage capping already, but you know what I mean. Wait for these guys to get corruption buff. Okay, I didn't even see a damage number. He kinda just popped. Unlucky. Also don't have tactical repositioning, from what I remember. Anyways. Kill enemies with headshots. Go. Temporal acceleration also done. We sadly didn't get the Peridil part, but it's okay. I want the Octavia part from here, hopefully, but we'll see if I get it. Enemies with electricity. My beloved Bubonico. You know, I'm realizing that one of the best primaries you can probably have on Koumei would be the Basmo, which is on the event right now. Because the Basmo has both electricity and heat automatically. Then you just pick a decent secondary like a Plinx or an Core, and a melee with melee influence, and you're good. You will only be missing the cold damage, which you can get with that one decree that never came. I still don't have it, right? Am I crazy? Enemies inflicted by toxin. Let's see if that works. No, it doesn't. That's fucked up. So I have to use Pathusi, I guess. And my fourth ability as well. It deals a lot of damage at this point, but... Oh, 666. There it is! Oh my god, it only took you 2 hours and 12 minutes. That's crazy. Why did it take it so long to give me that decree? Okay, now you can give me the cold decrees again, I don't care. I can just simply put cold damage onto enemies by shooting them. That's great. Headshots. Oh, okay. Oops. Link. Plonk. Companions also can get really strong with Koumei, especially if you use Tazik or Diriga. Although that's super sloppy, I don't like it. I don't like companions that kill automatically in general, to be honest. Like, just takes the fun out of the game. Like, sure, automation and automating something. I like to do the automation myself, kinda, if you know what I mean. So, like, let's say the Wisp build, right? The AFK Wisp build. The AFK part of the build comes from the Wisp. It comes from me, essentially, not an AI doing all the work for me. Does that make sense? I like when your companion is actually a companion and not the main thing that kills. And if it becomes the main thing that kills, it should be only when you really buff it on your own. Like, you take something like a Rhino, then you get that. Alright, critical roll again. So is it critical frost, critical roll, swooping miasma, and tactical repositioning? Is that it? I think that's it. Oh, and that one decree where you finish enemies and get ability strength up thing. I think Koumei also has that one, aside from Tom's Fortune. Oh. Miss! Kill enemies that are far away. Alright, time to miss on purpose. I like shooting at feet. I'm certified Briar, man. I know not a lot of people would get that reference, but if you do, W. Zakti? Really? Seriously? Come on, man. You could have given me something way better than Zakti. Let's be so for real here. Pandero. Nobody cares about it. Bro, this guy does not want to get headshotted. Alright. Tactical repositioning, yep, there it is. While sliding, very easy one. Oh, especially now, I guess. But I mean, it doesn't matter. I shouldn't even be like commenting on the fact that I have infinite ammo on the Bubonico, because I have infinite ammo on the Bubonico anyways. Oh yeah, Rain of Vitality too. I need one more rank on it. Okay. Okay, enemies inflicted with toxin. Back to this. Why doesn't it not give me the cold decree now? What happened? Why did we forget the cold decree? Huh? Now I want it. Why does it not give it to me? Swear to God, this game is rigged. Alright, well, critical roll is max. Okay, now we're getting the guaranteed damage caps on enemies, so we have kind of reached the point of no return.
Hello, violence. Goodbye, violence. Oh, 666 W. That one dog that tanked the bullet, crazy. That guy is the savior. He's head glitching me. And like, what the fuck? What did I just see? I've never seen a nullifier head glitch me with a live support, guys. Hello? That's actually fucking crazy. Horror part. I mean, yeah. Why not? Korra should be expensive at this point. And I should have relics since Wisp and Korra shared a lot of the same relics, but we'll see, I guess. Ooh. I for some reason believed. It's okay. Oh my god. Alright, critical throws. We're at 3x now. Damage cap. Damage cap. Oh my god, the bullet's so slow. Should I add projectile speed instead of being silent? I like it being silent, to be honest, because I can use it on Warframes like Ivara. But I don't know. Maybe I should give it projectile flight speed. Okay, scooping my asthma, one more needed. Almost done with that as well. Sure what, it should be 5 more then, I think. I feel like it's like 5 more. But I'm probably gonna go to 3 hours so I can name the video 3 hours of Koumei survival to relax 32 probably. Because, I mean, why not? Oh, finally. This body shot everybody. Or do this works too, to be honest. Because 1 crit is all we need and we get cold broken from one. So much easier. Okay, Rain of Vitality is also done. Very good. Enemies inflicted with heat. Oh. My god, my fourth ability does so much damage right now. Fucking wild. How did that not count, by the way? I saw the heat drop. This game is fucking lying to me. Alright, Critical Frost needs one more now. Oh, right. I forgot about that one. Yo, one gold decree, please, so I can, like, skip a bit. Although, I am gonna stay for, like, 35 more minutes, so I shouldn't be hurrying. I just want to have all the decrees, showcase the weapons to their fullest potential for as much as possible, I'm guessing. Alright, kill enemies within 10 meters. I got a Cronin. Whatever. Next. What random relic do we open? Revenant Prime. Revenant Prime. I swear, if I get Revenant out of this, I'm gonna flip. Like, out of all the Warframes that I could have got, if I get Revenant, I'm legit gonna lose it. Also, this mission showcases how shit survival missions scale, to be honest. Like, the scaling on those missions could have been so much better. Alright, envious economy is done. That's another decree ticked off the list. The status effects on him. Oh my god. Yeah. Lovely. Simply lovely. Kill enemies during wall launch. I missed this. I didn't get this for a while now. Alright, swooping miasma, done. So, tactical repositioning, critical force. Oh no, critical force should be done, right? So, rolling gives me crits? For sure we haven't done rolling gives me crit yet, fully. But I might be wrong. Oh, okay. Can you imagine if nullifiers deflected the bullets, they could deflect them directly to you? Like, back to you? And you could actually, like, die from that bullet? Imagine if nullifiers, like, they used to deflect, like, your AoE weapon shots, and those, because they have self-damage, they would be able to hit you back. But I'm saying, like, any kind of bullet, right? Unless it's hit scan, of course. Imagine if that Plinx bullet came back to me, decapitated me. Oh, man. Alright, Gritty Heal, one more. Feel good about that one. And then I think Swooping Miasma also needs one more. If I don't remember, I think it needed one more. Gameplay! Don't let me some headshots. Shit. Sure. My decrees are insta-killing everything. Oh my god, please. They're legit insta-killing everyone. Go. Okay, Gritty Hill is done. Okay, thank God I didn't get Revenant. What did I get here? Right. I'll open it, I guess. Oops. Very sorry about that. Kill enemies that are far away. There we go. Tactical repositioning. Kill enemies while airborne. Oh my god, that DOT. Yo, this guy immune to status effects or what? I guess so. Alright, tactical repositioning done. He spawned on the Fault Finder. Damn. That's unfortunate. Alright, critical first is also done. So we're left with killing people heals you, and what else? I think I've done Rain of Vitality, I might be wrong. But if I haven't, then that's it. That's one of them. And the decree that when you perform a finisher on someone, it gives you a bow vision. Correct? I think so. We'll find out if I'm correct very soon. Alright, I'm gonna go turret mode here and just... Well, that didn't work. But thankfully, you cannot die as this character. Oh, Vicious Barb. I didn't have Vicious Barb? Wait, you're telling me that I was missing 100% critical damage. Like that. And I was dealing... Yeah, okay. I see. So you are telling me that. I see. Very cool. Kill enemies with headshots. Oh, everyone died. Not ideal. Okay. I might go down. I am not sure because I needed to roll here and I can't roll. The game takes control of whatever I do and I can't do anything. Hopefully I don't just fall off and die. But I might. Just saying. Okay, we're good. I had some seal getting thanks to Mamori. Okay, there we go. We got it. That's the decree I was talking about. Bremon's nerve. Now, if we want a really big roar, I can force someone like an Eximus unit to go into their Parazon state and just Parazon finish them. And that will give me a really big roar. If I want to. Oh, wait, that's it. Decrease exhausted. We're done. So, 25 minutes to showcase everything. Let's start with the Poda Bubonico since you saw it a bit. I mean, why not? Basically, we have some decrease that increases its magazine capacity, which makes it have 164 bullets in mag. I got infinite ammo, but it doesn't matter because every time you kill someone, there is a 30% chance that your bullets will refill. Obviously, when we're airborne, we get damage from decrease that gives us damage when we're airborne. If we have a roll, we will get more crit damage. We will restore our health. Automatically reload the weapon again because, you know, just killing people gives you your ammo back wasn't enough, obviously. And a lot more fire rate because of irresistible bombardment. If we keep holding the bottom down, we're just gaining a lot more fire rate. This is a... My Bubonico has no fire rate modes, and this is what the fire rate looks like right now. I think it in fact has critical deceleration, which reduces the fire rate normally, but... you know, it is what it is. And this is the primary fire and how it looks like. Equally dumb, anything that it touches, it dies, so... very dumb indeed. I much prefer the alt fire for, well, obvious reasons. I mean, look at it. Look at it, man. Would you not prefer this? Would you not rather have this? I rolled a 27 and not a 666. I'm very sad about that. I got 3 5s. But yeah, this is the Coda Bubonico with every decree, with the build that you saw. It is quite dumb. When we reach minute 160... oh, by the way, now we run out of the infinite ammo, so you can actually see the ammo refilling thing in action. I didn't even realize until like much later. And yeah, it just keeps refilling its ammo. So it's like this infinite ammo from the Fisher, it doesn't really do anything. It just... you know, extra, I guess. And if I run out of ammo, I can just roll and just keep going. So again, this is pretty much infinite ammo. And it looks diabolical. And unlike Mirage or some other stuff, I don't need energized munitions. I just need to shoot at enemies to upkeep my ammo. Or the general direction where enemies will be, I guess. That works too. And yeah, it is as crazy as it looks, I think. I don't really need to comment on anything. I mean, you see what's happening. These are level 800s and I can just... yeah. And sometimes if I don't pay attention to my shields and memory, because as you can see on bottom right I had no memory stacks, I can die. But thankfully this character doesn't actually die at all. If you ever get down, you just go to last gasp and automatically survive. So it is what it is. If you're wondering, this is my 4th down, where the other 2 were skill issue and one of them was basically me standing still to check how long I could survive without going down, or if I could even. I lasted a good 10 seconds, I believe, which is pretty okay, considering I was literally turret modding. Maybe I lasted more, but I don't even remember. I'm just saying 10 seconds. Anyways. We haven't gotten any gold parts also from this, so that's kind of unfortunate. I've been opening a lot of rads, but no luck. So I'll open a Revenant part and get a Revenant Climb Blueprint right now, for the video. Let's go to the star of the show, which is the Plinx. So the Plinx, obviously primary fire, you know, very strong. Right now we have decrease that if we headshot, it creates electric fields, which insta-kills enemies. Or it poisons enemies around the target that we headshot. Both of them are really good. Of course, we can hold down the fire button and make it fully automatic again because of our decrease, which looks pretty silly. But that's not why the Tenet Blinks is so good on this character. The reason why Tenet Blinks is so good on this character is the outfire. Normally, you would see my bullets being to 0, and then it takes a while, and starts reloading, and now I'm finally reloaded and I can use it again. However, because the Koumei has a decree that when you roll, you reload your weapon, you can simply spam roll and alt fire all the time with no cooldown. And this deals damage cap every single time. Pretty much every single time. And if you deal damage cap to someone, then you leave the damage cap electricity proc here, which also insta kills everyone. Just like that. So yeah, this weapon on Koumei is damage cap heaven. It gets AoE because if you headshot someone, you make everything AoE on this character. And the AoE is so strong that it one-shots anyone anyways, so... I mean, yeah, you're seeing what I'm saying. I don't need to explain much. You know what's happening. This is without roar, by the way. This is just Koumei. I'm not using roar. If I use roar, we won't see any difference because we're damage capping anyway. I made my game lag. I think at like 1 hour mark to get the Plinx to damage cap and to be on a really good state where I could use it and get some ridiculous numbers like that one. It took me, unironically, 30 minutes. I think 30 to 35 minutes. The Bubonico took a lot longer. It took around an hour. And the Pathosis was kind of good from the get-go. The Pathosis is kind of overpowered in general. So, it didn't change much, but it does do the one-shots, and I like that. But overall, the Pathosis is by far the weakest out of all the weapons that I picked, but I'm not gonna undermine its capability. I'm still gonna call it good, but it's just not overpowered like the other two are. Like, Plinx and Bubonic are definitely just auto-win once they reach a specific point where you get like the extra fire rate, or you reload your ammo, or you get the extra magazine. Oh, which by the way, I forgot to mention, the Plinx normally has 10 ammo in the mag. For every extra ammo in the mag, it gains 10% more damage onto its outfire. So the degree that gives you 300% magazine capacity, it gives 300% damage to the outfire of the 10 Plinx, which is why we're seeing these ridiculous damage numbers all the time. Plus, when we roll, we get extra critical damage. When we hit someone, they get an extra cold proc that deals way more damage. When we reload our weapon, we get a multiplicative 400% damage that I believe also works on the Plinx, because the moment I got it, I started hitting for way more, so I'm gonna... Yeah, it does work. It's on the top right here. Oh shit, it got away. The times 5 next to my Madurai stats, that is the degree. That definitely works, so... that is literally type 5's final damage, so... That's unfortunate. For the enemies, that is. My god. So yeah, if you want to damage cap very easily, Koumei and Plinx, it's guaranteed. And this is the craziest part. This weapon has multi-core, right? So in theory, if one of these targets gets corrupted, I could easily like do some shenanigans where... Come on, do it, corrupt these. We can get some dumb number maybe, but overall I'm dealing so much damage all the time that I don't think it matters. Also, I don't know if the bow does anything, but I'm gonna try it anyway. It seems like it doesn't benefit from decrease. Maybe no, not sure. But it does okay damage, so I'm happy with that. It also follows up on my damage, which is a really cool thing it does. Also, the hollows, every time I hit them, they just die with no damage number. Like, this has been happening from minute 20 or something. I don't know why. So yeah, Tenet Plinx is definitely a weapon of all time, in my opinion, with this Warframe. It starts off not as great. The moment you get the rolling automatically reloads decree, it's Thanos. Because this weapon does not need all the other decrees to one-shot everyone, but they work on it, so it just becomes way stronger. It just completely breaks. So yeah, I'm gonna now show the Patusi. See what that does. Which, honestly, it's not bad. I mean, it will kill anything, still. It does crazy damage, and it has the added benefit that because melee duplicate procs on it, since this is like, I think, barely under or barely over 100% crit chance, you get melee duplicates and melee attacks hit twice at the same time. So every time you throw it, it hits the enemies 4 times over. Which is pretty great. Which is why that guy had 4 status effects also. So yeah, we're gonna see its damage onto this Acolyte here. And level 500 Acolyte. So you will not really see a level 500 Acolyte in your missions most of the time, because not many people play on a mission for 2.5 to 3 hours, but it has been doing that for quite a while now. I don't think the decrees matter on this one much. I think the Pathusi is just really strong on its own. And overall, I think it's like the second best glaive in the game in my opinion, right after the Falcor. Its stats are ridiculous. Who decided to give this weapon 2600 base damage almost? I think it's like 2560 or something base damage. It's absolutely wild. Because if you take a look at the glaive frame, where people use it to red crit and one-shot enemies even without the bleed proc, that one has 1000. So if you decided to do the same build as the glaive frame on this one, you would have almost 2.5 times the damage. That's actually just wild. Who decided this? Whoever you are, thanks. But it is insane. The Pathosis is really insane. I was waiting for the disposition to increase, but I'm not sure if the disposition will increase because this is just so strong. I really hope so, because if the disposition increases, I can use my Raven mod. I'm waiting for it to increase enough so I can get 20 initial combo from my Raven mod and use it, but I don't know if that will ever happen, honestly. It's just so strong. Like, yeah. And then Koumei on her own, just their 4th ability. If you ever get anything like above 15, it kind of one-shots on its own. And of course I get a 14. And even with a 14, it almost one-shotted that guy. Yeah. So it is. Yeah, Koumei is definitely a Warframe of all time. Now I know what you're gonna say. Okay, you're in a 3-hour survival. All right, bet. I've done another video where I do this in 1 hour, very easily. And obviously, some decrees that I get are not needed, like at all. You can easily get a power like this from very early on, and if you don't want to do a power like this from very early on, you want to use abilities. I also have another video about Koumei, about using an ability Koumei, which fixes the main issue that people have with her, reliance on decrees. You don't need to rely on decrees at all. You can even subsume the decrees, but I don't do it because I like the decree system. I like the second ability a lot. It's my favorite ability. It provides mini games that you do on your gameplay, on your day-to-day gameplay, which keeps the gameplay fresh for you, and you also get a lot of reward by doing it. Like, sure, sometimes you will get swooping miasma, which is literally your jumping slide kick supply viral, which does this. Wow, incredible. But you know, most of the time you will get something that is extremely useful, and that if you play around, it will look really funny. So I do like the ability, even if I'm using ability Koumei, and aside from that, there are some decrees like Shattering Frost and some other ones that can work onto your abilities because they are coded as weapons. Like if you're using Nova's Nullstar or Pyrotechnics, which is both abilities coded as weapons, and they're really good on Koumei since it has infinite energy, you can easily one-shot with those because if they crit, they give the enemies cold procs, and then the cold procs increase your damage through Shattering Throws multiplicatively, and then that's it. You're just getting a ton more value from it. In general, it's like, it's a very, very strong setup. No matter what you do on this Warframe, it will work if you go further enough. Like, sure, she is not the greatest when it comes to some missions. Like, I don't know. Genuinely, the only mission that I think that Koumei would be bad at is Hijack. But every other type of mission, like your fourth ability does a lot of damage on its own and CCs the enemies. Your first ability can be used for the same reasons. Your second ability is just an extra added bonus if you can get it to get even stronger through the mission. Your third ability makes you unkillable. I genuinely think that this might be the strongest solo Warframe in the game. She's definitely the strongest when it comes to doing endless and going solo. Like, that's, there is no question about that because the Krees are just so overpowered. But overall, there is a good argument to be had for overall, because honestly, what mission would you go in and unironically have troubles killing shit with her? With how overpowered the galvanized modes are, or condition overload, because that's basically what she does. If I start shooting with this, I have a galvanized mode here, so this guy right here, like, he will get one-tapped because of it. The amount of procs the enemies are getting have nothing to do with the decrease. It's simply because of her passive being just one of the greatest passives in the entire game. Alright, let's find an X-Moose now that we got this. Maybe get a funny roar going. Okay, Bombard, can I use you? No. Can I use you? Nope. I wanna get some guy that I can simply Parazon finish. If I can Parazon finish him and get the buffs from that. There we go. Alright, ready? How much roar is that? I don't even know. I don't see it. When Tom's Fortune gets out, we might see it. I still don't see it. Wait. I want to see how much roar I got, Loki. I still don't see it. Please, I want to see it. Where is it? I lost it. Well, I'm guessing it was a lot. Because I get 500% strength plus 200% strength plus whatever, and then it all doubles because of the decree. Plus the Fisher buff. Like all the decrees that give me buffs and then plus Fisher. GG. But yeah, funny Warframe, really like her. I will play till the 3-hour mark, which is in 8 minutes, and then we can extract, see our rewards, go over the builds a bit again, and then conclude this. Level 1200 also in 3 hours. That's okay-ish, but you have to remember that to get to level cap, you need to stay for another 5 hours. Ideally, you would want to reach level cap in this 3-hour mark. I feel like maybe 4 hours. Because, like, yeah, it just takes too long on survival missions. Alright, let's one-shot these acolytes. He spawned on the Fault Finder and died. That's unfortunate. Or I should say TP'd on the Fault Finder maybe, but yeah. Funny Warframe Koumei, funny gun Plinx when combined creates even funnier. I don't know, Tenet Plinx is, in my opinion, one of the strongest secondaries in the game. Not because it has the capability of like doing high KPMs or anything, but when you have a really good primary, you put a secondary just to take care of a heavy unit, and you swap to it. Like, imagine Plinx is like that one secondary that you're like, oh, there's a really big dude here that I need to take care of, and then you shoot him, and then you go back to playing regularly, kinda. That's why I like the Plinx a lot. The Plinx, when I did the 7-day challenge, it carried me through a lot of stuff, because whenever I saw an Eximus unit, I could just swap from the Ogres to the Plinx and then one-tap them, then continue. And that helped quite a ton. My god, the damage numbers. Also, at some point in this video, I said that take a shot every time at damage cap. I hope nobody actually did that. You crazy fuckers. Oh wow. Can we get a gold to end of the video with this Meso E7 Radiant Relic? Is it possible? Can we please get it? It has Saurfang Prime too. Honestly, yeah, give me Saurfang Prime. What am I saying? I don't even have it yet. I didn't really care about it much, but I kind of need it. I want to see like if it changes anything, or if it has some weird interaction with its passive when paired with Voruna, and you can do some really silly stuff with it. I want to see that. Oh, oops. I wasn't picking life support up. My fault. Also, in case you skipped to the end, because I know a lot of people did, during the video at some point we talked about game balance a bit and how things should be probably nerfed, like our damage should be nerfed by nerfing arcanes, most likely. Because the early game of Warframe feels really good balance-wise, and then once Stillpath arrives, the game kinda loses the plot completely. Because Stillpath, when you touch it the first time, it feels impossible, and then you get an Incarnon or a really good weapon, and then it becomes a cakewalk, since, you know, if the player has done a sortie before, and they can survive the damage of a sortie, then they are able to do Stillpath the moment they acquire a weapon strong enough to deal with the damage. And nowadays in the game, there are so many ways to become immortal that it's not really that hard to survive. And yeah, my idea was basically that anything and everything should be nerfed by nerfing all of the arcanes essentially and some other stuff to make the game a bit more balanced. You would still be able to do a lot of stuff that you already love and one-shot everyone, just like I'm doing right now. But you would probably need to work for it a bit more, which I think is fine. And by slowly reducing the player's power or making the enemy stronger, we can reintroduce some type of difficulty to have some more interesting stuff in the game, like very hard bosses, like what the Eidolons and the Prophet Taker used to be, or straight up raids. Because I don't know if you've seen Pablo's tweets, but raids are not possible right now since the game is simply too easy. And that's something a dev said. Don't even take it from me. Literally said we have too many ways to damage cap or to become immortal, so I can't really introduce difficulty to the raid and make it actually fun. And you know, the community wouldn't want me to nerf stuff, or they wouldn't want me to create something that takes a lot of coordination, because players hate when that happens. Even something as simple right now as destroying the valves or the pressure plates in the alchemy mission and maintaining it in the ideal thing, even that is already annoying to do in some public spots, because players just randomly shoot at them all at the same time. It's really hard to coordinate with people in this game, because voice chat is not really utilized as it should. I bet a lot of people didn't even know that voice chat exists in Warframe, but you know, the voice chat is not really something that people use, obviously. It used to be a thing, especially for PlayStation. When I played, when I did raids, the captain always had a microphone and used voice chat to coordinate the players. Or players would simply wait for the captain to tell them what to do in the chat. But for raids, everyone kind of knew the role, and that's it. Honestly, I feel like we can still have coordinated stuff, especially with arbitrations and all that. But we'll see. Obviously, Pablo also talked about how raids are in other games and how he's played. I know the devs have ideas that they can do, but the community really doesn't allow for those ideas to be implemented, because they just want to be good. And we simply saw that from the Folly mission, where they wanted to try and go for something a bit more chaotic and let the player be defenseless, and the players really hate that. I gotta say, the mission did have issues, obviously, when it released, but even concept-wise, the players just don't like this mission. And I'm gonna be so for real, I don't like it either. Not because it takes away my stuff or anything like that, but because it doesn't really introduce difficulty in any way. It's just kind of a random bullshit mission that, you know, Polly might actually just teleport onto you and insta-kill you, and that's kind of what it is. But overall, I feel like every time the devs try something new, they get shot on by the community for no reason, because the community doesn't like change, and I think that needs to... No way. Of course. As I was saying, I think that needs to be looked at, because at the moment, a lot of players read Stillpath, they can do one mission, and then by doing one mission, they can do every mission. And that also means that the player gets eventually bored of the game, because they just keep doing the same thing over and over again, essentially. Where they just randomly shoot at a hallway with a turret or the favorite weapon until enemies die. And difficulty is never really introduced, even if they decide, you know what, I'm gonna go to level cap. Like, the player goes to level cap, and it feels basically no different. There is a difference, especially on some missions, don't get me wrong, but it's not what it should be. It should be way more difficult than that. Also, here is my finishing results. 1.5 million credits, 383 steel essence, some parts here, some primes, some relics, some gold modes, 2700 traces, 1700 stella, 1 melee exposure. That's unfortunate. 2 Mandonel swords, almost 384 Riven slivers, some Eidolon's lens blueprints. I didn't even know those were in the thing. And I somehow also got origin cells, which I'm not sure how, as I don't have a Smidak event. But that is about it. And I'm gonna show the builds one last time. So this is the Koumei build, where we have all 4 Archon modes, and if you don't want to use Archon Vitality, you can drop it simply, because I don't feel like it does too much, but I personally like it, because at some point you get decrees that give you armor, and you can actually utilize the amount of health you have from this. But if you want more consistent tanking, you should definitely go for, what is it called? Vigilante Vigor. Like this. And that should help a lot more. When it comes to the Bonico, we have this, and this is simply a heat mode change, so Scattering Inferno here, and you're good. You have everything else. As you can see, a bit less crit damage, a bit more multi-shot from my Riven mode. Oh no, wait, the crit damage is from Tenacious mode, and projectile speed. Projectile speed is the biggest one in my opinion. I really like projectile speed, but with Galvanized acceleration shouldn't be that big of an issue. And then for Tenet Plinx, it's this build, where once again, Hornet Strike instead of Riven mode, and this would look absolutely the same, especially with all the decrees, trust me, like this makes no difference. But, you know, I will wait for people's comments. Oh, he has Riven modes on all his weapons. Well, I do have on this one as well, but I can't use it because if I max it out and try it, you will see that we're missing 1.2 initial combos, so I need the disposition to get buffed just a bit so I can actually use this. But as it is right now, this is the build, and it is quite strong, this weapon. Like, Koumei kinda didn't have anything to do this with. Pathosis is just that strong, to be honest. So definitely try this if you haven't, and yeah. That is about it for today's video. I hope you guys had fun listening to my yap. If you did, whatever. And let me know if you wanna see more videos like this one, where I'm just having uncut runs of random weapons on Koumei, or uncut level cap runs. Maybe you guys actually enjoy that type of stuff. Thank you once again, and I'll see you on the next video.